Hello, welcome to a new reading vlog. I'm starting this vlog on February 6th. I don't have any of the books that I'm going to read yet, but I wanted to start the introduction at least because when the books arrive this next week, I'm going to start them immediately. So the plan for this vlog is specifically I'm going to read the two most anticipated books from 2021. It's the books that I'm most excited for, definitely. Which I already mentioned on my February TBR. It's A History of What Comes Next by Sylvain Novelle and Game Changer by Neil Shusterman. They're two of my favorite authors. Neil Shusterman, I have read a lot of what he wrote, and pretty much everything is 5 stars to me. And Sylvain Novelle wrote The Themis Files, which are all 5 stars to me. And he also wrote The Test, which is a short story that was also 5 stars to me. So their two new books are the most anticipated for me. A History of What Comes Next already came out last week, and I had pre-ordered it, but I changed my pre-order to a different bookstore here in Montreal because they were doing signed personalized editions of the books. So when the book came out, Sylvain Novelle went to he's from Montreal. He went to the store and signed and personalized the books. I knew that it would take longer to get to me, but I'm really excited to have a signed book. I already have a signed book by him. I have The Test signed. I bought at Indigo and they had the signed copy. And I think maybe Waking Gods as well. Yes. Also signed. So I'm really excited to have another book signed by him. And Game Changer is coming out next week on Tuesday, so they are probably going to arrive around the same time. If A History of What Comes Next arrives on Monday, I will start reading it first. But if both of them arrive on Tuesday, I might start Game Changer first because it's a YA kind of like contemporary, so it probably will be faster to get through. I don't know. I will let you know in this vlog. So I'll see you later. Okay, so I just received both of the books at the same time. They were both downstairs when I went to pick it up, as I got the call from one of them and the other one was already there. So I'm gonna open and I will have to decide which one I'm gonna start first. Okay, let's start from the one from Indigo, which is Game Changer, which actually releases tomorrow, so I'm really excited that it arrived before release date. Hey, hello. She wants to open the other one. Okay, this is not great. Ta-da! Oh my god, I'm so excited for this book. So excited. So I've heard a few thoughts, comments about it already, and I think it's going to be, oh, this is so interesting. And I think it's going to be very, I don't know, polarizing maybe, because people are saying that he tries to put too many, oh, this is so pretty. He tries to put too many issues, like world issues, in a tiny book, and it doesn't go as deep as it should to discuss these things. So we'll see. Let's see how I feel about it. I'm still very excited. And I'll let you know as I read it. Let's open the other one now. So this one is from a different library here in Montreal. They were doing the signed editions that I mentioned. And it feels like there's more than one book here, but I don't know why that would be. I only bought one. It's really hard to open with just one hand. Okay, so this is a book. I'm so excited for it. Oh my god. Where is it? Oh my god, this is so cool. Like, literally, he wrote my name on it. This is awesome. Let me see what it looks like in the... Okay. And it looks like they sent something else. This is exciting. It's called The Effort by Claire Holroyd. I haven't heard of this, but it's an arc that comes out in December or January 12th. I don't know. And I'll let you know what it is about. It's a complete surprise to me, so I'm really excited for it. And I'll let you know what this one is about later. This lighting is super weird, but it's fine. I put a poll on Instagram when I received the books this afternoon, so people would help me decide which one I should start. And Game Changer won the poll, so this is the one that I'm picking up first. I'm so excited for it. If you know me at all, you know how much I love Neil Schusterman's books, uh, his writing, everything. So I'm really excited, and I think it's going to be a really fast read. We'll see. But this is the one that I'm starting now. So what I know about it is that it's about a boy who hits his head while playing football, and he gets transported to a different dimension when that happens. I think he gets a concussion, and then he goes to a bunch of different dimensions. I don't know. And like I mentioned before, I've heard people saying that he tries to tackle way too many themes in just one book. So I'll see how I feel about that, but I'm excited and I have faith that it's going to go awesome. I literally just started the book. I'm on page 3 and he mentions blue M&ms. It's just so funny that I had to come back here to mention, but yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just he mentions blue M&Ms, so I thought it was funny and interesting enough to come here and mention it. I'll go back to the book. Hey, it's the next day and I'm on page 230. I'm just starting chapter 16 of the book, and I thought I should probably come here and update you a little bit because that's the point of a reading vlog, and I almost didn't do that, but just like past the halfway point of the book. And how can I talk about it? I feel like I'm a little bit worried with where the story is going. So if I think I already mentioned before, but this is basically the story of a boy who he hits his head kind of playing football, and he gets transported to a different dimension where things are different from where like his normal reality, and it starts with like little small things that don't really matter too much, but then as the book goes there are more important things that change. So yeah, I feel like I haven't read The Midnight Library yet by Matt Haig, but I feel like I've heard that that's a little bit of the same premise, that just like the person seeing what would change in their lives if one decision of one thing in the past had happened differently. And that's a little bit of what it is here also. It's like if something one decision in the world had been different, what would be his life right now. And I don't know if it's the same, but just one thing to keep in mind if you've read The Midnight Library, but maybe it's not that at all because I haven't read the book, like I said. But I got like around the midpoint of the book, it explains what's going on. I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but I really like it. I think it makes a lot of sense, and I think it explains a lot of some of the uncomfortable things that I've been feeling with the book. But I don't know if it's enough to justify those things because yes, I had already mentioned that some people say that he's trying to deal with a lot of topics in a tiny book, and that's true. There's a lot of discussions about racism, about LGBTQ rights, and like a lot of things like that, women rights. And I feel like this gets a little bit lost when it's all told in the point of view of a white male cis heterosexual. Like I understand that that's the kind of the point of the book, but I think it does get a little bit lost. So I'm a little bit worried with where this story is going because I don't know if I like it where it's going. Like, I like the explanation of why everything is happening, but I don't know if I like where the story is going and how fast it's going through different realities. There's a lot of really important things here that don't get talked at all because we're just in his head, we're just listening his point of view. So I think that's one of the issues that I'm having with the book, because I think like if we're trying to address all these topics, it would have been more impactful if we were hearing from anyone else in the story. So those are my feelings so far. I'm not loving the story and how it's getting wherever it's getting, but I do like his writing still. It's so easy to read. I mean, I read 200 pages in a day, and it's been a long time since I last read 200 pages in a day. So I might be able to finish this book today, maybe. I went to bed really late last night, so maybe today or tomorrow I'll finish it and I'll let you know how I felt. I can see that this book is going to get to be very divisive is not the right word, but I think a lot of people are going to really love it. Like looking, I'm just saying that having read half of the book, so I don't know if my feelings will change. But like I think a lot of people will love it because like if you look at the big picture, it is about this white boy confronting a lot of his biases, a lot of his prejudices, and like those things. But when you look into each of the things that are happening in the book more closely, and the way that they're not addressed as well, like they're very superficial because inevitably they will be superficial, is in his head. So I think like looking at those things, I can understand why some people already gave it a low rating, maybe from reading arcs, I don't know, but I can understand how that could happen. I don't know where I will fall. I probably have halfway point in those two, because I still like his writing a lot, and I do get what he's trying to do here. I just don't know if I will love it by the end, and if I don't, it will be like a half rating. If I really like the way it ends, it will probably be like a 4 stars. If I don't, it will be like a 3 stars. That's only depending how the rest of the story goes. It will be 3 point something stars, up to 4. That's how I'm feeling right now, and we'll see if that changes. Hello again. It is Wednesday night now, and I finished Game Changer. And I don't know. I'm so conflicted about this book. I don't know what to rate it. I don't know how I feel about it, which is already not good, I guess. But I just don't know what to do about it. The feeling that I had in the middle of the book kind of continued throughout the rest of the story, in which we were getting just a superficial view of all those things that he wants to discuss. And that's mostly because we're hearing everything from the mind of a white, straight male. There's not much we can go from there, like being on his head while he was going through all the things that was happening here. Was like, I don't know, it was uncomfortable in a way that I don't know if it was supposed to be so much. And it got me thinking, like, I think it will have there will be a lot of discussions around this book, which are good discussions, but because the book didn't deal with those things, if that makes sense. The actual ending, I'm not gonna talk about it, but I was fine with it. I think it was a good resolution to the point that we got in the story. But yeah, so this was one of the most anticipated books of the year for me since last year. Since I first saw that Neil Schusterman was going to come up with a new book, because I've loved his books so much. Arc of a Size is one of my favorite series of all. I really loved Dry. I loved Bruiser. I loved Unwind. So like that's a little bit of what makes me conflicted about this book as well. The rating will be around like 3 something, probably lower 3. I think I will have to process this a little bit more, but I wanted to come here with my fresh thoughts, I guess, and just tell you what I'm thinking about it right now. But yeah, I'm not exactly happy with this one. So let's go into the next most anticipated book of the year, and we'll see what happened. I'm still very, very excited about this one, and differently from Game Changer, I haven't read any reviews about this book. For the few people who have already read and posted reviews on BookTube, I skipped all of those parts because I don't want to know anything about it. So everything is going to be like completely new for me. I really don't know the plot either. I don't. I've read the synopsis. I think I mentioned that, and I just don't get it. And I don't think I'm going to even read the one that is here. Either way, just going to go into it blind and see what happens. And I'm very, very excited. I really hope this is going to go much better than Game Changer. I got the signed copy after all, and I hope I will love it. Still going with the high expectations that I had from before, even if I didn't like Game Changer as much. It's not like it doesn't have anything to do with this book. Like the reason why I like these two authors are not even close to the same reasons. Like they are not authors that write the same way or anything like that. The stories are completely different from the others. Although I think I've heard this has time travel, maybe. So not even Game Changer is not about time travel. So not it's completely different. It's a much more high sci-fi. I don't know if that's the right term that I'm looking for, but yeah. So we'll start this one right now, and hopefully I'll love it. And just before I go start that book, I wanted to mention again because I was very surprised when I first got that package. But yeah, The Effort by Clary Horwood is a book that came out in January of this year, so it's already out if you're interested. So I wanted to come back and tell you a little bit of the synopsis of what it's about because it does sound so cool. It's a very long synopsis, but I'll be brief. It's basically there's a comet on the orbit of Jupiter. Yes, on the orbit of Jupiter, and everyone on Earth is like, it's not a big deal, nothing's gonna happen. But there's a small group of people on Earth that actually thinks that it could be a big deal and like that could hit Earth and kill everyone. So they have kind of like a committee or something. I don't know what they call it, but well, they call it the effort. They join together and they have to decide: are we going to try to stop this comet, to like send something to blast it off to the universe, or do we just let humanity die? Like, is it worth saving? There are a lot of books that deal with that topic of like, is humanity worth saving? One of the ones that I read more recently was The Humans by Matt Haig, but this is much more science based. I feel like that one was about an alien on Earth, so more science fiction. And I don't know if it's where the story goes with this one, but it sounds really cool. And yeah, I'm really excited to get to it at some point. And if you're interested, the bookstore that sent me the arc and where I got this one from with the signed personalized copy is going to be linked in the description. If you are from Montreal, do check them out. It's a great way to support local business. They are amazing, not just because they send me the arc. They really are great. So I really recommend that you check the bookstore. But let's go into this one now. Before I start the book, I have to update Instagram, I have to update Goodreads, and all of that. But right after that, I will start the book. It's been more than a week since I last updated you, so let's do this. I finished this book, of course. Well, not of course, because it took me forever to read it. Not because it was bad, although it wasn't good, but we'll get there. But because I was doing other things. So this month, I mentioned on my community post, if you haven't checked that, you can go read it, the whole thing. But I started playing D&D, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm watching a lot of D&D. I'm also DMing the first ever game that I've ever played, so there's a lot to prepare. So I haven't been focusing on reading so much. Right after this vlog, I actually am going to film my m&ms TBR, and I'm not going to finish all the books in February, but it's fine. We'll add a challenge and it's going to be fun. Keep an eye out for that. But let's go back to this book. I wanted to update you, like around the middle at least, but when I got to the middle, I actually started to enjoy it more, and then I finished it really fast. But the first half of the book was boring, for lack of a better word. One thing that I think Sylvain Novelle does very well, in that sense, the theme is files, is to consider what is happening in the whole world. So this happens around. It starts in World War II, and then it's like telling the story of the space race, and there's a lot going on in the whole world. So these characters are traveling from Germany to the United States, Russia, and he considers what's happening, like around where the main characters are. And I think that's one thing that he also did very well in the Famous Files, so I really enjoyed that. But I think what hurt this book a little bit was that this is about the space race. Like I said, the goal here is that they're these two women, mother daughter, and their goal in life is to help humanity go to the stars, so get out of Earth. That's what their family has always tried to do, and they have some particularities that I'm not going to mention, that I don't think, like, I think it could be a surprise, but it's basically them in the background of history as history happens. So everything that happens in this book has actually happened in real life, except maybe those two main characters weren't there, if you know what I mean. And in the end of the book, Sylvain Val even has like an explanation of all his research and all that actually happened in real life, like in the space race in the world in the past. And I think that like that made me understand the book a lot more, and at the same time that I think I liked the book more knowing all of that, I feel like it was also too stuck in what actually happened in real life, and it couldn't do something more interesting. So I'm really hoping that the next one we're going to go away from what we did here, away from real world history. But I don't know, like I have no idea where he's going from this book. But I really hope we're going, like, even if he's telling real history, that it's like in the future, so he can make stuff up. All the characters in this book are real people, and I didn't know most of them. That's one thing that he even mentions in the end, that like we all know about the space race by the time the man got to the moon, but we don't know like right at the beginning of it how it was. And I think that was a very interesting history lesson, but it was a history lesson more than a fun fictional book to read. So I gave this 3.25 stars. I really enjoyed the second half of it, but it was still not enough to bump it to more than that. The first part was very boring, and I don't know, it was a great setup for the rest of the series. And I will definitely continue. I'm curious to see where he's going with this, but this is like if you like history books and historical fiction and sci-fi, I would recommend this for sure. But go into it knowing that it's a lot of history lesson and historical fiction more than sci-fi, and it's more about the history itself than the characters. I really like these characters, but we don't see a lot of them, and that was like I was hoping for more from them. But the book is really short, so we ended it without learning a lot about them and what's going on here. This vlog was not a success. I mean, I read both the books, but I didn't like them as much as they were the most anticipated books of the year for me. This was a 3-star, this was a 3.25 stars, which sounds like I'm cheating and it should be a 3-star, but I feel like it was still better than this, if I'm comparing. Although they're very different and there's no way to like really compare them. So to wrap this vlog up, I am disappointed in my 2 most anticipated books. I'm not going to stop reading books from Neil Shusterman and Sylvain Val. I still think they are amazing authors and I still want to read everything they write, but these 2 were just not it. So let me know in the comments which book you were more interested in reading if you had to pick one. So just leave a football emoji or a rocket emoji for which book you got more interested in reading from this vlog, in which I said I didn't like either of them. I still hope more people are going to want to read them, because reading is subjective and you might completely fall in love with both of these books. But I would love to know which one you're more interested in. So football emoji, rocket emoji. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye.